Hey, what's up guys? This is C6 Gucci here coming back to y'all with yet another YouTube video, and today we're doing something different yet once again. Today we're talking about weight reduction ideas for your S550 Mustang or S197. These apply to maybe not every single one, but they should be a good overview of what you could do to either S187 or S550 Mustangs. So yeah, let's just get right into it, guys. So I'm gonna classify all of these weight reduction ideas into three categories. Okay, so there's free, hundreds, and thousands. All right, so obviously free is completely free. You're just removing things from the car that you could remove, right? Hundreds, you're replacing parts, but they're not too expensive. They're within the hundreds range. I'd say 100 to 700 was my basis. And the thousands, it's pretty much anything that's worth around $1,000. So I pretty much put my bases around 800 to 800 plus, basically, right? So we're gonna start off with the free first. So the first, for the free, I would say rear seat delete. It's very common for the Mustang guys to delete the rear seats. It is a good way to shave off like about 30 pounds. And you don't really use the rear seat too much. It's barely usable anyways. But a lot of people do it. A lot of Mustang guys do it. So I'm pretty sure you guys already knew this one. So that does reduce about 30 pounds. You remove it. The spare tire as well. A lot of people don't really take that into consideration because the spare tire does weigh a bit. And if you're racing or at the track, there's really no use for it there. You get me? Like everyday driving, I'd understand that maybe you do need it there in the back because never know, something might happen one day, one of your tires goes flat, So I recommend you do, for daily driving, drive it around. But if you're going to the track or you have a race plan, whatever, throw that puppy out. Like, you don't need it, guys. You don't need it. The passenger seat. Now, this one's a big one. That does reduce about 50 pounds. It is a pretty heavy seat. And you do lose the option of being able to, put a passenger in your car. But like I said, if you're going to a track day or you have a race scheduled or something, you should consider that very well because it's a big drop in weight. Now we got the shock tower brace. I don't know if the S197s have these. I need to do more research on that, but I know for sure the S550s do have the shock tower brace that pretty much goes over the engine bay. Goes completely over, and it's built for more stability, right? But at the end of the day, like if you're racing in a straight line, it's not too necessary. I mean, I do recommend that you drive around with it on, but like I said, once again, track day, whatever, you can throw that puppy right off, and it is good for about 8 pounds. So that's a decent weight reduction there. The engine cover as well, that says 5.0 and all that good stuff. It looks real nice and everything, but like I said, at the end of the day, if you're going to the track or anything, you don't really need it there. You're not going to be showing off your engine too much. So, throw that off, and it's about 3 pounds that you could lose off of that engine cover, that big old engine cover. It is fairly heavy. The trunk carpet cover as well. So when you go to the back of an S550, the spare tire is there, so all you have to do with the carpet is just kind of take it off. And then there's also the jack and all that. You want to take all that off, and that should be good for another 4.6 pounds supposedly, right? It should be around there. It should be around there. There's also the battery cover. You can take that off. It's good for a pound as well, because everything counts, guys. Everything counts at the end of the day. Floor mats, you can take them off, and they're good for about 2 pounds, 3 pounds maybe, because they are pretty big mats. So that's another little weight reduction you can do there too. Door panels, I'm not a big fan of this one because it kind of makes the car look really cruddy. But I mean, if you're really into this, like I said, if you really want to build a really fast car and you want to do weight reduction, complete weight reduction, all that, the door panels are a good way too. Between both, it's about 10 pounds, 15 pounds max. which isn't bad. You do have to take off the speakers and everything, guys. Like, it's not just the door panels. You would want to take off the speakers as well and everything to get the most out of it. And like I said, it should be good for 10 to 15 pounds between both. Wiper fluid, you don't need that when you're track racing or anything, get me? So just drain out the wiper fluid. It's about a gallon. So it saves you about another 8 pounds. So that's pretty decent, another decent weight reduction mod there. And all these are free, guys. Like I said, you're pretty much just taking out of the car. You're not replacing, you're not doing anything other than taking out. At this point, I would say between all these things I did mention, you would lose about 140 to 145 pounds without spending a single dollar, guys. And that's pretty crazy, like, that you could lose that much pounds just for free. Now we're gonna get into the hundreds. The hundreds, like I said, anywhere from 100 to like about 800 is where I kind of stopped it, because really in reality, like 900 plus is like pretty much 1,000, right? 800 plus is pretty much 1,000. So first of all, we're gonna start off with racing seats. They're about 25 pounds difference each. Like I said, this does interfere with the whole passenger seat. It does depend on what you want to do. We want to build a car that kind of looks more like a full-blown race car. You could go with double racing seats, but you won't save as much weight as you would if you remove the passenger seat and put a racing seat in the driver's seat. You get me? So it really depends on what you want to do. Now we're going to move on to the K member from BMR. Hopefully you guys have heard about this, but if you haven't, you can just Google it real quick. I think it's about like 550 plus tax. This does reduce a lot of weight, guys. This is about 30 pounds off the front of the car. So like the weight distribution is even going to get much better when you do this with the car. So it is a big thing you could do to the car, and I do recommend it very much. Now we're going to move on to the BMR motor mounts. Now this is a little bit more hard to work with, but you do save about 4 pounds each pair. Well, for the pair, I'm sorry. You do save about 4 pounds for the pair. Like I said, it's probably going to be a little hard to mount them on and all that good stuff, but if you're like really dedicated, like I said, this is a must as well. Now we have the Braille battery. Now this is rarely slept on. Like, I'm really surprised that a lot of people have actually not talked about the Braille battery. It is being used. I've seen it around, but like not as much as I think it should be used. And the Braille batteries pretty much, they vary on how how much weight you want to lose, right? So the lighter the battery, the less power it has. So you kind of just want to make sure that you get a battery that's going to charge your car well enough. And I know for a fact that for the Mustangs, an 11-pound battery should be more than enough to charge the car very fine and all dandy, you get me, without any problems. But if you're skeptical about the 11-pound battery, you can go for the 15, and it's just, it should just work perfect for you. So it's really up to you on how far you want to take it with the battery, but I'd recommend either 11 or 15, maybe even a 9 if you're, dangerous like that. And they do get cheaper as they get lighter, so it's really on you guys. I'd say Braille batteries, if you're gonna go for a 15, I think a 15 is 200, which is not bad at all. Like you're gonna about to lose like 15 to 20 pounds with this Braille battery, because most batteries weigh about 30 and change. And these Braille batteries, 15, 11, and 9, you can lose a lot of weight on that, guys. So, and it's not that expensive. So I really do recommend it too. You can go for titanium lug nuts as well. This is really slept on as well, because this is rotational mass. And if you do not know what rotational mass is, it's pretty much like, let me give you an example. If when you're running and you have a backpack on, let's say the backpack weighs about 10 pounds, right? Well, you can run pretty well with 10 pounds and a backpack on your back, and you can run pretty far. But if you put those 10 pounds around your ankles, you're going to find out really fast what the difference is. And that's pretty much the same thing with the car. the wheels are the ones that actually move. So the more weight you add to the car, as far as the wheels, the harder it is for it to turn the wheels. And so it pretty much makes the whole car slower. So the rule of thumb for it is that each pound lost in rotational mass, which is the wheels and all that good stuff, equals to about 3 to 4 pounds of regular sprung weight. So let's say you remove 1 pound off of each tire or wheel and tire, right? You remove 1 pound out of each wheel and tire. Well, that's 4 pounds, and you think 4 pounds, how much is that? Not much, right? But you have to multiply that by either 3 or 4, however you want to do it, right? So in 3, that equals 12 pounds. So that's like a 12-pound weight reduction there. And you just remove 1 pound from all the wheels. Or maybe even up to 16 pounds if you, depending on how you do the math. That's the rule of thumb, 3 to 4 times more, right? So it is a big must, guys. I really do recommend that you do go for, you know, those titanium lug nuts. They're not crazy expensive, but they do carry a price tag. I think you could get like a whole set for $200. So if you're a heavy spender, you don't mind, you know, spending on some things, I do recommend them for you guys. So now we're gonna go on to the front bumper bar by Steeda. Steeda does offer a front bumper bar for the S550s. I'm pretty sure for the S197s as well. It is 8 pounds weight reduction, so that is a pretty good weight reduction as well. Now we do have the rear bumper as well, the rear bumper bar, I'm sorry, and that reduces 13 pounds, so even more. Between both, you already have 20 pounds weight reduction, more than 20 pounds actually. So that's not bad at all. I mean, these bumper bars and stuff, they cost about over 100, so between both, you're spending like 250, maybe 300 max, and you're losing about 21 pounds. So that's not bad at all, guys. Like, you really do have to consider, like, this is not a bad weight reduction at all for the price you're paying for these mods, right? So that's another big must there. And I did the math between all the hundreds I have in the list. You reduce about 97 to 103 pounds, like I said, depending on what you choose, as far as the battery, as far as the racing seats and all that good stuff. You will lose about 97 to 103 pounds, which is not bad at all, because you're just spending a couple hundred. I mean, between all of them, you're probably going to spend a little over 1,000, which is not too bad. Not too bad. Now we're moving on to the thousands, which is a big leap. You know, this is pretty much 800 plus, and it does cost a lot more. But like I said, if you're a hardcore drag racer, you would want to get these mods as well. So now we have the aluminum drive shaft, which reduces 10 pounds plus of rotating mass, and that's like a big hit, guys. That's like 30 to 40 pounds just like that. And they do cost about 900 plus, but they're more withstanding. You know, they take more abuse for you. They're lighter. You know, you're just more safe in the car with a drive shaft on, a performance drive shaft on. I would go for aluminum or carbon fiber, either or. They should be very light and cool and all that good stuff. Now we got the lightweight wheels. Now this is a big one, and I'm pretty sure y'all been waiting for me to mention it. It is a big difference because it is rotating mass as well. So this one I couldn't really give you a really good estimate, because it all depends on what wheels you go for. There's VMS, there's Ford Star, there's Wells, there's Race Stars, even if you want to go with something cheaper. You know, all those good brands to choose from. And you know, they're all different. You know, they're all different in weight, so it's kind of hard for me to tell you all like how much you'd lose. But I mean, you'd easily lose about 5 to 10 pounds at least off of each wheel, which is a huge difference. Maybe not the back ones, because the back ones tend to be like fat, but the front ones for sure, like, you lose a huge chunk, like half the weight of the wheel. So I mean, you do the math. I mean, you're losing about 50 to 60 pounds an unsprung weight, basically, but this is rotating mass, so it's different, right? Now we have the carbon fiber parts, more specifically the hood. This is a very big mod for the Mustangs as well, because, well, it's the easiest thing to put on if you're gonna put a carbon fiber part on the car, you get me? And you can lose up to 15 pounds with a carbon fiber hood. It will cost you about $1,000 plus, maybe even 1,300, but it does add looks to the car. It does make it lighter. It's just a cool mod to put. I've been seeing it around a lot. The whole carbon fiber fenders and hoods and all that good stuff, and it looks really cool. Like, it just looks really cool to have it on. And if you have the pockets to pay for something like this, I would really recommend that you do. Now we have the lightweight brakes. Like I said, there's several brands as well, but Bear is a good brand to go for, and Aerospace also has really good brakes as well, really light. You could lose up to 40 pounds with that, maybe even more. So that's a big gain too. But as well, like I said, you're spending about 1,000 to 1,200 to just buy these brakes. So you have to have deep pockets for these mods, guys, but at the end of the day, they do count, and they do make a big difference in how your car runs. And yeah, guys, that's basically it. That's all I was able to come up with. I did a lot of research and trying to find every single thing I could do to the car and all that, but you kind of run to a plateau because not everybody talks about what they do for weight reduction, and it's hard to find out what they do. But I was able to find a good list for y'all, and I just figured that y'all deserved a good list to go by, because a lot of these videos online kind of just give you the basic overview of how to do your, just put some wheels on, just put some racing seats on, and just take off your back seat. And that's pretty much all they tell you. Like, they don't tell you anything else, because at the end of the day, they want their car to be like the fastest in the world or whatever, right? Which we all know that's not really possible, but hey, we're here to have fun, right? So at the end of the day, between all of these things, let's say you were able to do every single thing I just listed, well, you would lose at least 300 pounds, guys. At the very least. I mean, this is more like 400, I'd say, but at the very least, you lose 300 pounds, and that's a huge weight loss, guys. I mean, you have a 3,700 pound car, and now you're talking 3,400 pounds down, 3,400 pounds, 3,300 pounds, and you spend a couple grand, but between everything, let's say you're not spending more than 5 grand, and you're gonna get a big difference of a car, even stock, guys. I mean, you're pretty much in Corvette weight territory, you get me? I'm pretty sure a C8 is heavier than 3,400 pounds. I can't be completely sure, but I think it is. And that's just crazy. You're gonna have a car that's lighter than the C8. I mean, just pop a tune on the 10-speed, whatever, or a few bolt-ons in the Gen 2, and you'd probably be gapping C8s all day. Even in S197, you'd probably be gapping C8s all day, and that's really impressive. Just with a few mods, you're gapping a car that's very well made, very, Chevy spent a lot of time on the C8, and just for you to be able to, do a couple parts and beat it, I mean, it has to feel good, right? So, I hope this was a good video for y'all to watch. I'm sorry if it's a little weird or whatever. I tried my best to make it for y'all. I just wanted to move on from the whole racing thing. Like, not the whole racing thing, but from the whole, like, montage type deal. I want a YouTube channel that's going to be more specifically based on me and my cars and me talking about cars, because at the end of the day, that's how I'm going to provide you all with the most content possible. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what I want to do, guys. I don't want to hit that, that barrier where I don't have any more content to give y'all. And, what are you gonna, what am I going to provide for y'all if I have that barrier in front of me? So, like I said, we're just trying to expand, guys, and I really hope y'all like the video. If you want something else like this, I can do one with a C6 also, if you're interested in that. Yeah, guys, appreciate y'all. Thank you. Peace.